these critter boxes here by Lucky Reptile, these lovely little enclosures that are ideal for spiderlings of small arboreal tarantulas. And for this one, we're rehousing, or housing should I say, the Antilles pinktoe, Caribena versicolor, which is a lovely arboreal species. Really good fun to keep and make these lovely webs. They're generally quite well behaved, can be a little bit skittish sometimes, and like other pinktoes they can jump, which can be a little bit nerve-wracking for some people, but they are a really quite wonderful species to keep. I can see the first one settled in nicely there, just left its Eppendorf tube without any trouble. Those Eppendorf tubes are just used universally for transportation. I used the lids from these later to make little water dishes actually that go in the enclosures. These enclosures are absolutely perfect. They're really well ventilated, which you kind of need for this species. They like really high levels of ventilation, but obviously, like all tropical spiders, they always need water, so we're providing them with those water dishes. Just putting the lid on there. The lids, well, they split down the middle of these enclosures, which is quite good, so you don't disturb the web if they build a web at the top of the enclosure, which is really quite handy actually. I really like these designs. Just damping down the substrate just a little bit there with my squeezy bottle of water, but they don't want it too damp. Okay, they just need that. They need that moisture. They need access to that water, but they don't want a stagnant, saturated environment. In the habitat where they come from, there's a lot of coastal winds that blow through those banana groves and various other plantations where you're likely to find this species. So they don't like stagnant air. Here I'm removing the other one now from the Eppendorf tube. This one's being a little bit more, just a little bit more, requiring a little bit more persuasion. But there we go, it's out. I don't want to just use my usual method of just leaving the Eppendorf in there, because I don't want to risk them setting up home within those tubes. I want them to be out in their enclosures and make natural nests so I can keep an eye on them. There we go. Having trouble focusing there, but beautiful species. Really lovely, great species. As I could say, it could be a little bit skittish sometimes. Like all pinktoe tarantulas can jump, which is a little bit unnerving for some people, but they are really fantastic. They also have a habit of kind of very acrobatically flinging their poo in the air, which is quite extraordinary from a spider. It's a defensive strategy, perhaps. Now we have one settled down there, looking very nice. Lovely little enclosure. And then fast forward a little bit longer, you can see in a week's time they've made these nice little webs there. That's about a week later from when I filmed this housing, possibly 10 days. You can see the lovely little webs, both of them there, getting on really well. And the little Eppendorf tube lid water bowls that I've put in there. But notice the substrate's not too wet. Nice ventilation. Antilles pinktoe, really great spider, really fun to keep, really interesting. A few things to consider that I talked about that you might need to, consider when you're keeping it. But otherwise, a really, really fun tarantula to keep. Thank you very much. I've been Alex. Consider subscribing. Have a good day.